Hello and welcome to this week's top tip for Wellbeing from me, Ian Haken. This week's tip will help you if you are a bit of a crossroads or you're feeling not quite fulfilled in the role you're in or something's missing. It's a great tool and it's particularly useful for career planning. So if you're involved in career planning or you've got a teenage child that is thinking about their prospects, you can use it with them. It's called MPS, that's M for mother, not NPS, which is a different thing. That's a customer service system. Comes from a book called Happier by a guy called Tal-Ben Shahar. Now the MPS stands for meaning, pleasure and strengths. So that's meaning, pleasure and strengths. And it's a simple little exercise that you should do. You could do initially on your own, but then I would always have somebody look over it with you, somebody that knows you reasonably well, probably not your significant other, but somebody else like a coach or a business, a colleague or a good friend, somebody knows you reasonably well, knows a bit about you. So basically what you do is you write those three words at the top of a column on a page. So meaning on one column, then draw a line, pleasure on the next column and strengths on the next. And what you want to do is spend a few minutes, no more than 3 or 4 minutes, just board blasting, writing down on that page all of the things that give you meaning, all of the things that give you pleasure, and all of the things where you believe you've got strengths or skills. When you've done that, the idea is to try and look across to see where there's some commonality. So for instance, if you got meaning from helping people and working with young people, you had pleasure, you've got a lot of pleasure from reading, from other things to do with English and English literature, and also you're particularly good at comprehension and other Englishy type skills. I'm using an extreme example to pick out an obvious theme. So what that's obviously filtering from that is that maybe your lost vocation is to become an English teacher. But it could be all sorts of things. It could be a way to identify a way that you can get fulfilled. Say you're in a role and you're not changing that role. Say you own that business and you plan on staying there for a while, or you don't feel you can move roles right now. You can look at this to say, how can I be fulfilled elsewhere in life? What else could I do outside of work to get this fulfillment? I get this particular pleasure. Could I do that by volunteering, for instance? So that's the technique. Meaning, pleasure and strengths. It's a really good little technique. Say about 5 minutes to do the exercise and then probably 20 minutes discussing it with somebody to try and highlight from that where you think you could spend your time and what else you could change. Okay, that was this week's tip. We're going to be exploring a little bit more about this kind of stuff on Wednesday's show. I'm delighted to be joined by Gary Burton from Principles for Performance. Gary and I are running a series of works together, which starts with a one-day course called Creating Your Miracle Outcome. And this technique ties really in well to that process of helping you identify what big thing you need to change to really move forward in your life. So do tune in on Wednesday on Facebook Live, 12:30 lunchtime. Gary and I will be talking about miracle outcomes before our course, which is in Norwich on the 22nd, which you can check out on Eventbrite. And thank you for watching. Bye-bye.